Hi, Stoney. How is you on this Friday morning? I guess it's Friday morning for you. I have a bit of an issue with the Wi-Fi again. Holy shit. I want to kill people. That is going to be my vocation for the next, I don't know, days, weeks. And to kill the people that built my Wi-Fi box. I think you're right when you said that because it's like an old-ish Wi-Fi box, it doesn't have the same capabilities as a newer one, which makes 100% sense. But because of that, I'm losing features from everything around me because I have IoT everywhere. So, for example, I've been noticing that I've been losing Wi-Fi and shit. And the lights right there, I turned them on before the stream started, and now I can't turn them off. That is just, I don't get it. It's not the IoT issue because these, I mean, the same light that I used to have in France, absolutely fine, all that. But like my light, colored light in the background, same thing, had some issues with being able to be connected today. Like I asked my Google Assistant to turn it off multiple times. Cannot do that for some reason. Had to reboot the entire box. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Anyways, I hope, I mean, one thing that is good for now is headphones. Headphones seems to work and not be crackly for once, so we have better sounds, unless, as every time that I have headphones that works, we don't have alerts. So, you know, like if someone follow, maybe I can't hear it. I don't know yet. We'll see. We will see. Anyways, I hope the sound is good on your end, and yeah, we have some plans for today. So first thing first, yeah, no Wi-Fi. For example, the Android phone that is connected right there. I mean, it's not connected. It cannot get Wi-Fi for some reason. I don't know why. It just doesn't want to get in.
Fruitus Eater just resubscribed for 19 months. Hello.
19 months, Fruitus. Thanks a lot for the resub. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. How is you? How's your day going? How's everything? All that. Maybe that's the issue. I doubt it, but we never know. We can try it out. And I have alerts, so you can check the alerts, Stony. So yeah, so we have some planned thing. I haven't posted on the Discord the today's release. Neither yesterday. Holy shit, I am slow. Yesterday and today. So today's icon have been really cool. I kind of did them in a hurry, but let me show you how things are because they are cute. I just finished some interviews. They said we can't decide by your wireframes, your level of UI skills, so they gave one more meeting to actualize my test assignment frames. That is sad, but also I get it. If they are looking for UI designers. Today was space, and I did what I wanted to do. I did a UFO that takes a cow, and I think it's the cutest thing that I created. Love this. I love this. It also looks like a straw hat, but yeah. Chatterwell is broken indeed. Let me fix it. I think it fixed itself. Yeah, fine. Whatever. It's back. You now have my head as a badge. Oh yeah, no, that was because for this message was long, and then the next message was that, so it broke. It wasn't broken. Anyways, I love this fucking UFO thing. I wanted to do one at some point, so here it is. And we had another one right there, which I think should be here technically in order to have the organization make sense. But yeah, so today was space. I did everything that I thought was a good option. So we have Earth in different locations, like this. We have this one needs to be there. We have solar systems and orbit things, meteor showers, meteors, all that, eclipses, which we didn't have before. I don't know if I want to put that in the weather. I might put that in the weather, but I don't know. And I might put the USS Enterprise into vehicles. We're thinking about that because it is a vehicle, but also it's not. So it's debatable, as always. Emery, hi, welcome on in. So we have like planets, random planets. We have Europe, America, and Asia. It was kind of hard to do like the Philippines and shit. I mean, the Philippines are here, but like Taiwan and shit, and then the Japan, banana. So I.
D.W. Griffith is now following.
It looked weird. Griffith, hi. Welcome on in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks a lot for the follow. I appreciate it. You pushed us, I think, yeah, close to our goal. By the way, I think for this you bumped the sub point to 80, which, if it's the case, post stream we shall have more emote slots. I think we, with 80 points, I can bump that to a bit more emotes, which is, I mean, it just means that we will have more of these coming in as real emotes rather than just follow emotes. So yeah, thanks a lot for the sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for the womp womp. twice.
Womp womp.
Beige, hi, welcome on in.
Bum bum.
Damn, they were interlaced together. Didn't think about that. 1 second. But hi, Beige, how are you? How have you been? So we have the astronaut. I don't know. The astronaut feels big, but also it's not. But it feels big. So I don't know yet. But it has been released. These icons have been added to the current release, so we bumped the price from 16 to 32. I don't think we can have a PogChamp looking emotes because it's too hard for me to do a face like this. But might happen. I don't know. Yeah, I think my brain just tells me Eclipse should go into weather rather than being in space, even though it's related, but you know. And then I think the telescope could go into appliances or devices, whichever. I think that might be the go-to, but it's also like not. And then these are really space related, so I think I will keep that in space. I did like a very specific folder for space, so we'll see. Anyways, that is has been released today, which means that I absolutely forgot to do that. Done. Now it's done. We have this. Should be updated. Cool. And I've tried to implement a thing called parity deals, which apply deals based on your locations, or give you like the ability to use a coupon code to get like a fat ass discount. Sometimes you have like a 70% discount in some regions, so that's interesting. But for some reason it doesn't work. So, I don't know. The 70% discount is like massive. I think it's just for Iran and like 2 other countries, as far as I remember. But yeah, it should work. But it doesn't. I send them an email. We'll see if they can help. As I stated on Discord, they said that I need to add a bit of code to my website, but it's a Lemon Squeezy website, so I don't have any way of adding things, even though I'm linked API wise on both sides. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I'm seeing the sales, which I appreciate a lot, but I'm seeing like some people have almost paid not double, but with their taxes and the overall like the outcome that they have is way higher than what they should have paid. So yeah. Also, it's not euros; it's dollar. So it's like $16 and not 16 euros, which I think that's just did euros here because it was easier, but technically speaking, I don't think I can show you that for security reason. Default in euros, interesting. Yeah, well, I think it's because my store is in France officially, which is kind of fun because it um, entirely does thing that I'm not really happy with, but I can't change that. So, anyways, so that's the news. We have space icons. We have a release. We have which as for I think that need to be renamed as space, right? But on top of these icons for today's release, which bumped us to 757 icons in a fat month, 33 days, which is impressive. We now also have these. So we now have buttons that works in dark mode and light mode, in a ton of styles. I don't know if I want to keep all of them, but just for now I will keep everything. And even though the input was supposed to be here, it's still broken, so I can't implement it. And now we also have the toggles. So toggles, same thing. They work with the ability to have light mode and dark mode with a really cute switch for the text, for the icons, for whatever. So all that is good. And I'm trying to make it work for dark mode first, as intended. No, the pricing is the pricing now is starting to be in the normal-ish kind of realm. I am debating heavily just doing like one more bump instead of doing like a $100, which seems high, in 2 weeks. Just do like a 69 in 2 weeks, so 64 next week and then 69 the next week, just because, right? And then depending on how much content we add, we could like add up to 100 maybe in a month or two. But I don't know, the pricing system was pretty specific. Anywho, we have an issue. We have an issue in that component that I'm trying to get through, which is the input component, and I think that's what we are going to work on today, because it's supposed to contain, or it's not supposed to contain any linked styles from anywhere else, but when we check the assets, it has one singular text styles that is still somewhere in this file, and I can't find it. And I've tried everything. So yeah, I think the last resort is trying this. I don't know. The music is kind of fun today. Reverting that to non-components might help, but no, it seems like we'll still have one used style. Then what happens if I do that? That fixes it. Cool, so it was in there. All right. Good to know. Good to know. So that means that I can like comment Z all that and keep my components, but just like get rid of these ones, I guess. So technically speaking, the only thing that I need to transfer is the states, both of the states, this one and this one, to the next file. And I think if I get these two without the component inside, so just that, let's see if it's still linked. No, it's not. Cool. So that way I have like my label and my helper text the way that they are supposed to be, and I can transfer all that to the new file. Cool. I thought I was about to have to do that from scratch, but it's not the case. Some of the things that I need to also transfer but I can't transfer are these icons because they don't exist yet on my side, and these tags because they don't exist yet on my side. So for now, it's a bye-bye. So that's fun. That's fun. Cool. Let's see. So the input will take a massive amount of space, for sure. Damn. Let's organize that. I don't know if I like that song. You know what? I know that I don't really like it. It sounds YouTubery, which is not, which is not good. So now that we have that kind of done, we could. I don't want to do that, but I think we could. Yep. 100 rejection as a starting point. The idea with the 100 rejection is just to turn your brain into competitive mode to be happy when you get rejected rather than not. Which I know is weird, but it works. Yeah. And now you continue, and you will probably feel like the rejections are easier to swallow, technically, because you're like, yeah, well, I've been rejected many times already. It's fine. So, yeah, that's the idea. Do that doesn't work. It would only work if I have 6 in between, which seems to be too far away. Yeah, I mean, this is subjective as always, but I I don't I don't want to I don't want to get into it too much, but as I said before, and I know that that's ooh, camera kind of froze, I think, for me. Conditionally, hi, welcome on in. How are you? How have you been? But when I get like an at-home assignment now, because I right used to be a thing. Now I don't really, but when it happens, I send an invoice as a reply to the at-home assignment email. Like, this is the amount of time that I think it will take. This is my rate, and unless you pay me for my work, I will not do the at-home assignment. Which, right, a lot of companies are doing that, and they are like, I mean, receiving the invoice, so they're like, okay, wait, well, no, we don't need that, so you are disqualified. And I'm like, yeah, fine, I want to work for free. And I know that I'm like fortunate enough to be able to do that, and just not be bothered. But yeah, I really think that at-home assignments are trash if you have like either a portfolio or references of work that you have done in the past and that you can link to and that they can see, and they tell you that your UI skill, your UX skills, or your presentation skills are not good. Presentation maybe, but if they see the other two things, I don't know, it feels weird. It feels weird. I don't like it. So yeah. What I finally managed to start yesterday. Did you start your overlays? I'm guessing. Why did that go into 100? Also, you reminded me of something. We are starting fruity today, which is different than usual. That's nice. Again. This is white grapes. It's nice. So I need to find the system. If Jonathan was here, I would like explain more about the system design instead of design system, which is not the same. But yeah, basically I'm trying to make sure that I can reproduce things over and over and define the system that will be used if and when we have other things to use. So for example, right here, that system is pretty simple because we already have the system in place with like the left icon, right icon. Right icon can be used for drop down, but also the left icon can be used for a drop down if you're in right to left reading. So all of that is pretty interesting. I think this needs to be replaced by that. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing with coding and dev in general. I've been trying to start and do some dev work for the past 10 years. And every time I cannot. Like, I absolutely can't. It's just there is too much shit that I know and too little thing that I don't know, but I do know at the same time that just break my brain. So it's kind of hard. Nope. There's like so much things that needs to happen before I can learn something simpler. So interesting. Fun. One second. You bitch. I knew. I knew. No. Yeah. Conditionally, I'm reading your message, and yeah, it's the same thing for me. It's like I have enough tiny knowledge that is right and wrong at the same time. That just it doesn't allow me to progress technically. Does my camera freeze, or is that my iPad just being like fucking annoying? I have a feeling that it could be my camera. I don't know. It's just me? Cool. Well, the iPad is... it's an old one. Needs to be updated now that the new iPhone has been released, you know. But yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. I can expect a lot. But yeah, I get it. Left swap. Right swap. I forgot about that. And then left swap is gonna be replaced by placeholder, and right swap is gonna be replaced by placeholder. Cool. I think we have everything kinda text is good. Fun. Cool. Yeah. I think I think Unity, right? You said you started Unity. Is that what I read? Unreal, not Unity, not the same. I tried Unreal at some point when I wanted to do some things that I've never talked about on stream, like having some sort of 3D avatar with Unreal humans on stream. That could have been really fun, but I tried and then my brain said, you know what, fuck it, that's too much for now. So I never did. But yeah. It was kind of hard, so I didn't.
Rescoson underscore is now following.
Retsuko-san. Konbanwa. I guess. If you are Japanese. Otherwise, how are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Oh, come on in. Thanks for the follow. Retsuko. Retsuko sounds like a name that I know. I don't know why. Not that I know someone named Retsuko, but I think that it sounds like a common-ish name. So yeah. Yeah, I think maybe that's where things are coming from. I don't know. It's fine. I am good. I am good. A bit tired. But it's gonna be fine. Trying to achieve things that I shouldn't be trying to achieve. I think that's the the situation right now. Yeah. That might be why I remember Retsuko. Are you Japanese by any chance, or are you just like liking anime in general and that ended up with your name? I'm building things that I shouldn't be building right now, so let me just think, because I haven't been thinking for the past hour. Holy shit. So, here, going back to the system thing, I need to define the system for my inputs. So we have borders and backgrounds. Technically, backgrounds is the same unless it's disabled. And then borders have 3 states. Default, 4 state. Default, focused, arrow, and then disabled. And then the content is what has the much changes. So the icons on either side have the same behavior as the text, but they, like, depending on what type of icon we have, sometimes it's different. And then the text changed the darkness. It's darkness depending on if you're hovering or typing, placeholder, all that. So we will use that. The leading text is always the same, doesn't change. And my helping icon changed its color and its shape depending on the state of the field. So if the field is in default, it's gray, but if the field is in error, it's red, and it's another icon. You're French. Bonsoir, ami. Il est midi, du coup, pas bonsoir, mais bonsoir pour moi. Yeah, conditionally formatting. Exactly. Let me be harsh on myself. So, system and placement, that's the thing that I kind of I can't do that. I wish I could. I want to have like one singular input field component rather than three. Like I want to have one thing that takes these buttons and put them on the right side. The main issue with that is the spacing. So I am French, that's why I'm talking good French. that helps. But it's 7 here and it's 12 in France, so that's why I'm saying bonjour, bonsoir. I wish I could, but the thing that is bothering me so much is the spacing, right? When we are on this section, you have 4 left and next to the button, but then on the icon side you have 10. So technically I could have something that is like, I don't know, a spacer thing right there to get like 6 more, but you have 4 in the space. It's a mess. You have 4 in the spacing, but you need 6 here if we get 4 on both sides. Let me just try one because that would be much easier. So this needs to be way bigger, and doing that we have 8. No, not 8, 4. My bad. Yeah. So the thing is, the behavior in code conditionally is way easier than the behavior in Figma. Figma is limiting me technically in like my ability to have the simple concept that is called margin in CSS and HTML. Like you could have like a margin left or margin right that is conditional depending on the state. So if the button is not present, then that like right icon is getting a margin right of 6 points. But if the button is there, the margin right disappeared. So it's a reversed conditional, which is fucking annoying because that can't really be done in Figma. So one of the option, which I don't really like, but one of the options I have is to take my entirety, which is already what I did in the center, but take the entirety of my central content and wrap that inside of a frame that will then get 6 on both sides, and then instead of having a spacing in between my elements in my input, I will have no spacing at all in between things, so that I end up with something that is closer to what I used to have. Like it was 4, but now it's like 6 in between my button and this, so that's fine ish. And that means that if for some reason this button disappear, I end up with that icon being at 10 10 10, perfectly aligned with its parents, and if that thing disappear, it's the same value on the other side and we're good. Which was the point for when these two things disappeared, to have my text placed absolutely perfectly in the box, but now that's not the case. So yeah, it's missing the logic, and it's also missing the code functionality that should be there but isn't. So yeah, so this one is taking like 4. So if this thing is like ungrouped and I keep the 6, I'm kind of good. It's a 10-8, which is okay. It's not perfect, like it should be a 12-8 because of that space right there, but it's still better than nothing. But that works only when I hate myself for this. That works only when we don't have anything happening. As soon as we have the cursor that needs to be inside of that fucking frame, we fucked. For fuck's sake. I mean, I could like redeem that to 0, but it's just... I'm also over-engineering the component, but I'm thinking about it in the code because I know how it will be made. So it is. It is. So if I do the same thing but with this one as a test, right? Let's see. If I do that plus all this, having a neutrally out frame, getting 6 on both sides, getting that one at 0 in between everything, removing my spacing here. Does it still work? It kind of works. So I need to keep that in my default unclicked with my cursor to be hidden, which I hate to have, but I think that is the way. Have a good 5 hours tutorial video to watch. I don't know if you are like me, but I watch these videos most of the time at like 2 times speed because people speak too slow. But yeah, makes them go faster. So that kind of works, but also it doesn't, because that frame, which is my margin, is an uneven thing, and then if I do 6 instead of 4 in between everything. Give me more space, which align that space and that space, which is good. But then, if I don't have this, we're kind of good. If I don't have these two, we are kind of good. And if we don't have that, it's a regular input, but that thing is now at 16 instead of... Oh no, that's because I'm a dumbass. Yep, my bad. I forgot about that detail. Yeah, 10-10. That's kind of good. I do section by section, but I do like 2x speed. Usually I watch the videos, like I've watched the JavaScript course twice, and it's like an 11 hours video. But because I watch it at 2x speed, because that, if I could watch it at 3x or 4x, I would, because that fucking guy is speaking so slow. Like, I feel like I speak slowly when I'm on stream, specifically when I'm rewatching a stream, like to check the audio level and shit. I think I speak slowly. But then that guy is speaking at this pace for me. Kinda like if I was explaining the input field 1 second at a time. I can't. It's not good. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Alright, so we have one container, one singular margin around that container at 4, which makes it good. And then we have conditional for the buttons to be visible or not. Right, cool. I'm gonna pee, and then we'll implement that. 1 second. So, I'm thinking about it as a component in code with props. That's my main goal. Making sure that I have something that kind of makes sense and that works for everyone. So, what that means is technically these buttons are specifics. They are not, I mean, they are these for sure, but they are not the same exact component. but they are the same. So that's supposed to go here. And the difference, right, it's like right now it's at 12 and 6. Whereas here we are at 6 and 6. So we divided by 2 the amount of space on both sides to get something that is like shorter, and it kind of helps a lot. Then this is way too light compared to this one, but that's fine. I don't mind. Then we have a second one, which breaks everything, and our entire thing is going to be at 4. Let's write copy on both so that we are good. Just move these out of the way. In order for me to be able to do that. So this frame is my content margin, I guess. So I will rename that content margin, which is bad, but you know, I have no choice. This would be a 6 on both sides, and then that inner thing is going to go back to 0 for the text padding. Turns out that my writing method used to be snake case, camel case, whatever. Whatever it's called. I think I should do that first, because it's faster to just do this. Shit. Content margin. Cool. It's pasting. Cool. So let's select all of my content margin, make sure that they all have 6 everywhere. Then let's select all of these, make sure that they are at 0. Go back 1 up, make sure that my spacing in between my elements is set back to 0, and that my spacing on the entire thing is set to 0. However, that thing is set to 8, top and bottom, but that is 4. Debatable if it's good or not. It's a lot of flowery placeholder right now, so we'll see what we can do about that. These two are supposed to be in Disabled, but disabled doesn't exist anymore. Ah! Shit, I forgot. It's fine. It's fine. I find a way. I will find a way. So let's take these
Pronexi is now following.
and Ronexi, hi, thanks a lot for the follow. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Welcome on in. So I want a layer here that would be left button or left CTA, I guess. I hate calling them CTA, but they are not a CTA. It's a fucking button. Left button for this one, and then right button for this one. Cool. Once that's done, and we can have like the left button, right button. We also have the leading text. We also have the so what I like to do in my props, Flavio. I do remember you. Welcome back, welcome on in. How have you been? If you have the link so that I can take a look at it now, I would love to do that. Left button, followed by left icon, the left icon swap, the leading text, followed by the help icon, which is followed by the right icon, with the right icon swap, with the leading text here. The text is the placeholder there, and then the right button is right after the icon swap. Cool. That made no sense. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So I have a very specific new rule that happened since I tried to do so many swap from one file to the other. And one of the new rule that I added to my Figma file is if I have a component, there is like I cannot have hidden elements inside of the parent component. Like in the instances, that's fine, but in the parent component, everything needs to be visible at all times in order for this to work. So that is why sometimes it will have like weird ass things like this. Anyways, these can now go away, so that's cool. Did you... I don't even know if API will work. It does. I wasn't sure if you had to change that. That's better. We go in full screen to check it out. Icons are good. Is it a system wide? No. That song is weird. Ah. Your loading screen is the skeletons are touching each other, which is kind of weird. It's such a detail, like small thing that people shouldn't see. Maybe just add a bit more padding. That might help. Details. That's nice. I remember that. We have something similar now on the Mercy for the loading state, but yeah. Yeah, I like it. The only thing that I don't like is the 5 icon being like so pixelated, but that's not your fault. Like some of them are great. Like this one, great. This one, great. This one, kind of trash. But that's not, you can't do anything about it, so. What do you mean, been a while? Yeah. It's great. Makes, I mean, it helps, specifically if you're on the homepage and you have like the categories right there. Then if I click on it, I can go directly to the categories. That's great. That's a bit high, to be honest. That. But yeah, no, it's great. We find bugs live, that's what we do. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's great changes. Tiny changes, but great changes. It helps with the readability of the page. Nothing jumped at me too much like it used to do. And yeah, I like it. Good job. Good job on the implementation. Shit. I do. I break everything. Most of the time, I break myself. That's what happened most of the time. So that system kind of works. I'm still saying kinda. It's not true, but it kind of works. If I do 6, we have like an even-ish spacing. For readability's sake, I kind of want to select all of these and except these two, and change them to primary just for now, so that I can just check, make sure that everything works and that my spacing are good. I feel like I could shorten the distance in between the icon and the text on these buttons. So going from 8 to 4. These things that I'm doing right now are absolutely unacceptable to do. Honestly, to use the main component and just add optional conditional specifically on a component or on a subcomponent where a main component is used is a mess. because your dev will come in, click on the thing, look at it, see that it's a fucking button, and then use the button without really looking at the details, and you end up with a lot of issues. But for now, because I'm lazy, and because we need that to be implemented soon, or as fast as we can, we will do that, and then potentially we will have a set of button that is specific to the input field, which is like reusing these ones, like technically just using that, but having them enclosed inside of another frame specific to the input to make sure that they work every time. But yeah, that is bad. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. So these two things have too much radius right there. We have 4, so they should be at 4, I think, to match with our pairing, and that should be fine. That should be fine. So let's take these and change our right icon to, I think copy is a thing. Yeah. Copy icon is kind of big, but we'll use that. And you know what? Nah, I need to keep it. All right. It's Friday, so we good. Drink. Oi. Chill. I'm thinking about the variables in that component and see if I can build them better this time. I think I can, but do I have a duplicate? I don't. Cool. There's also the fact that we are trying to get the component running will highlight all of the icons that we are currently missing, because there is plenty of these that we need to have but currently don't, and yeah, it will be nice. That will be nice, but it also highlight the fact that I can change and swap an icon, and it will just take the color as intended, so that is great. Alright, I think that component is pretty good. I think that component add-on should contain more stuff, and I'm not even sure that it can be good. We'll see. Yes. So I need to get the props for the nested instance for the button and the button. The placeholder for the icons, that's not thing that I want to have for now. So we'll keep that. That will 100% make the props a bit long. It's not my design. I know it looks like it, but it's VQ. It's an old thing. And that project is still the same as the icon. It's the rest of the thing. So right now, I mean, we started with icon daily, and we are kind of starting to be short of breath on icons. Like 20 a day is hard when you have already like almost 800. I mean, it starts to be repetitive, and it will be like credit card add, credit card remove, credit card like broken, stolen, incognito, things like this, which are just like tiny adds-on to existing icons, similarly to what we've done here, right? So it starts to be less interesting to do on stream, and I can do that in the morning, and then we can just have the components. So right now we are working on the input field because that needs to be there. Needs to be done. And with that method, I can or could technically get my thing. Like, this doesn't need to have too much, to be honest. Yeah, that's it. It just needs a variation to be in error state. Cool. Faster than expected. Which the error state is like simple. Basically it. So we might make them like a bit better, to be honest. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I need to think. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. So in my primitives, which are not primitive anymore, but like base, I guess, we should have a new folder that would be called inputs slash, and then I'm guessing we have background because, right, that background is the same for everything except disabled. So background with nothing will be background default. Cool. And then background disabled, right, column disabled. By the way, Stony, I had a question for you on these things. I have created I think for the toggles I have created active hover and indistinct hover as one selector. I think that's the name. Is that right? Or should it be hover active and hover indistinct? Like, what take precedent in the naming of these selector? I mean, for anyone who is a front-end dev can answer that, but what do you mean, good one? You know more front-end than me. But both work? Or should it be colon active, colon hover? Like, should I split them? I mean, I should. Like, I was just thinking that I should just be able to check these, right? Because that makes more sense. Is the active hover or hover active? Technically, I could have a hover active focus within for everything. So do they have documentation on that? I feel like I made a mistake. How did you? I don't think I can do that. That's the thing. Because I can't apply two styles at the same time. Sound like hi. Also, have a good look. So with the Tailwind system, you end up in your code by having like hover, blah blah blah, active, blah blah blah, which makes sense. But for me, I need, if I have both at the same time, and they are not like contradictory, then the like technically what I understand is like active is taking over hover. So yeah, because I can't. My question was mostly should I do that rather like active, like I'm hovering the active state and I'm hovering the indistinct state. So I guess I guess I should do that to make it more seamless with the devs. Which I'm saying I should do that, but you probably can't see shit. So having these splitted rather than not, I think that's better. So that means that for my button, that also I kind of have hover and active, but active is just like a millisecond, so we don't really need to think about that. So my background disabled is good. And I have a feeling that background hover needs to be a thing for some reason. Right. They are not the same, so that's the thing. Let me just show you on here. It's really visible on this one. You have like active hover, and then you have non-active hover. So that is just like highlighting the checkbox to make sure that you can like click on it. Same thing for the indistinct. So it's a very specific state of default, active, intermediate, or indistinct, and then default hover, active hover, indistinct hover. Right. Active hover is a thing, yeah. I mean, when you have like a I mean, I'm guessing it's more on the components rather than the like technically, if I re-hover this, I should have the option to see that I'm hovering the thing, which is what happened with the focus ring around it. But yeah, it's a thing. I think about it as pressed, I think. Maybe it's miswording for me, where it should be named pressed instead of that. Like for my checkbox in radio being like checked. All right, cool. Let's call that checked. How would you do with the switch? No, because if it's on, it's not. It's active. And if I do like on, that makes no sense to me. That's for buttons, yeah. I think for switches it's gonna be active. Yeah. But that's the state when it has been clicked. So not while it's being clicked. So yeah, non-active, but pressed or checked. So I guess that's checked as well. Yeah. Yeah, but checked hover is a thing. The focus is different. I can't. I think it's just the active state that should have been renamed, which is what I just did. Which is fine. It's good. You know what? Maybe I can have like a background for error. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if I do that and then I duplicate that group, I can just say this is border. Right? I was right. These two could be wrapped into a group called global, but I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of do. But that's like one level of this. Nah. That's nice. Are you using bun already? I love how I talked about bun when it was released, like 6-8 months ago. Dust, hi, welcome on in. You heard bun and you had to spawn in. I think 8 months ago or 1 year ago, there was like one release, and I was like, that seems interesting. I talked about it to my dev internally, and no one was like, yeah, that's nice. And I think now they're like, oh shit. How have you been, Dust? How's everything on your end? Let's duplicate that. Let's call that. Leading text just has one, so there is no need to have like 4 fucking thing. I wish I could just do that quickly, but I'm pretty good. Setting up a Mac VM? What the fuck? It did take off. I mean, when they released the update a week ago, kind of did take off, which I think Dust decided to run everything on Bun. Did you really, or was it like a troll tweet? It might have been a troll tweet. So we have, I think placeholder is not a thing. So I think disabled an error. Error doesn't exist, at least for me for now, so let's get rid of that. We just have placeholder, filling and field, which are the same. They are the same. And then disable, which is not the same as this one. Yeah, cool. Cool. My icons don't change either, aren't they? Yeah. They just change in, yeah. So hover and error doesn't exist for icon, meaning that my helper icon does. In default and in error. Oh no, shit. I think I should name that helper dash, because otherwise I will make mistake in the two. So helper icon. Alright, so that's good for the input themselves, but for the field, which are the components, input fields right there, you also have the label and you also have the helper text. So I think I can keep that input field as a global thing and get the entirety of that thing working by adding, I think my leading text doesn't change and my label doesn't change, so let's duplicate that, call that label, and then helper icon will be duplicated into helper text, and that helper text has its default state, so regular, error state and disable state. So we good? Nice. I need to pee again. 1 second. Alright, so now that that's done and defined, we can apply styles to it, which is good, I guess. So that's a lot of variable just for one fucking component, but meh. True. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. I only have the light mode set, so yeah. Ah, I forgot something. I forgot active. Is it active then? You threw me off. If I press inside of the, is it pressed? Like if I clicked inside of the input, then the border is highlighted. It turns green, or it turns primary color, which is green for me. And I would consider that active, but maybe. I is wrong. Yeah. But it's not focused as in keyboard focus. That's the. I think that's what threw me off. It's like focus ring are a thing to help know where you are, but you can be focused inside of an input which doesn't have the focus ring. I think that's where things are annoying for me, but I would say the state is like when you are in focus, when you have the ability to type, is when the border is going green to highlight where you are. So I think focus and focus visible. Interesting. Yeah, that. I mean, you said that earlier, and I thought I understood, but now I understand it better. We are going peach, I think. Yeah. This is peach. Kind of weird peach, but peach. It's kind of shit. This one's kind of shit. I really think I need like a something in color that is just white or just black. I mean, technically I just need just white because black is never used. Feels, hi, welcome on in. F1P1 is done. What is that? Oh, that's why Dust is up early. Brain, please make this work. Oh, I should have done that. I get it. I get it. I know you are like into the F1 thing, so that's why I'm saying this. But yeah. See, I'm selecting core dark, which is black when I'm selecting it, but because I'm on light mode, it's white. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Three or five? You know what? Let's do 5. In background arrow, I'm thinking about using my tomato. In 1, it's a very subtle red. However, in dark mode, we will have a lot more difficulties for that. I mean, you can be as AFK as you want. I appreciate you being here. Maybe a little, he says. Maybe a little. Let's use slate opacity 4, I guess. I really need to have that here. And so on hover, you're going to 6. On disabled, you're going to black, probably. So in order to make it disable, I'm going to use slate alpha 1, which is 100% transparent. And then that will probably break things, but we good. And then here, I kind of want to use tomato alpha 3 for no reason. It will be fine. So my border here is gonna be... Oh, we don't have the harvest date there. That's interesting. I think I want the alpha here as well. So slate alpha 4, I think, would be enough of a distinction with the background. We will change everything later anyways when we do the side by side, but just for now, so that I can like map thing in my head. So if we have 4 on regular, we're gonna use 6 because, as I said, we need a system. So let's do the same thing. So it's 4 and 6, so let's do the same exact thing for the border. For here, 6 here, focus now is going to take eight. Shit. 10. On light mode, I kind of want to have it like light, so let's get 8 here, but in dark mode, let's use 10. That way it's like kind of similar. Interesting music choice, but fine. I'm okay with it today for some reason. Disable will take alpha 2 in both situations. Maybe it works. I clicked on the wrong one. And in error, we are gonna use tomato alpha 3. And you know what? Let's do alpha 6 on both. That is brighter. Cool. My icons in dark mode are going to take slate 10, kinda, because they need to be dark but not too dark, but also 10 is kinda not dark enough, so 11. My leading text is also going to take 11. No, leading text is going to take 10. It's brighter. A tad brighter. The input text, I should do the rest. Let's not get ahead here. So here we're going to use 8 for disabled, which is really light. I think that might be too light, so let's use 9. And the icon in dark mode, I'm tempted to do the same. I'm tempted to do 11 and 9. We can see. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah, why not? Why not? So my input text, though, in placeholder, that is where the fun begins. Not true. I think it's gonna be needing to be like 8, because my background is 3. So in order to work, I think it's gonna need to be in one of these two. So let's take 8 for this one, and 4. 6. Maybe 6 can work. On hover it's the same, but can make it darker, so 6 on this one, and then I guess 8. No, I guess no, 10 is good. I guess 10 for hover. Filled will be 12, no question. Like, it's the brightest that we have, so brightest and darkest. And disabled is gonna be probably an opacity, but I think we're gonna reuse the placeholder. 6 might be too light. 2 on our background disabled, which is 5. A lot to think about. Let's take 8. 8 on both. We'll see. The helper icon, though, is going to take... It should be lighter, So probably gonna take 10 on this one because this one is 11, which is weird because it's darker. So, and I can't make it like. We'll see. We will definitely have to change that. 100%. 100%. That's gonna be tomato in 8. I think that's what I just did. 8 in opacity, sorry. And disabled is gonna take 8 on both, just because we can. Cool. My label is gonna be pure white in dark mode, and it's gonna be 12. 11? Nah, 12. Gonna be 12 in light mode. And then the helper text, which is the last thing that we need, is gonna use slate still. I guess 11 in both situations, maybe. We're getting tomato as well, and then I'm done and I can implement it and see if everything is good, which will be fine. It will be okay. Let's use 8 for disabled for everything every time. Okay, good. So that's done. That took longer than I expected. So, they all have input, background, static, base. So far, so good. The arrows, arrow ones, we'll take the arrow state, and I haven't hover, but it's not present. I haven't done it here, so I might need to add it as an option. Nah, why not? These 3, that's fucking up that, that's fine. I'm gonna use my input border. This one is gonna, yeah, that's way too light. Cool, good to know. This one is gonna take my border hover, and these 3 are gonna use my border focus. I should have done the disabled as well, but I forgot. Arrow. Cool. These are gonna be taking, oh, they don't have the same color. Oh yeah, at the bottom. These ones are gonna take the icon here. Aha, interesting. My icon disable is darker than my icon normally. I made a mistake. That's good to know. That is good to know. These ones are... Damn it. These ones are my helping icon, but darker, and that, for fuck's sake, my helper icon in error state, and then the last one here is supposed to be in disabled, which is way too dark. Cool. If shit happens, it's okay. Dark one are gonna take my leading text. I don't have a disabled version, so I guess it's the same. These is my text in field. How the fuck is it so light? I don't know. I have a feeling that I'm making a mistake by not having that frame in dark. Yeah, that's what I'm... That's the mistake. I forgot about that. And now things make sense. For fuck's sake. Sometimes I forget things. It's fine. So this one is gonna be my text in hover, I guess? No. Probably not. Yeah. This one is gonna be on hover? I doubt it. But why not? This is the placeholder which doesn't work. Cool, good to know. I'm missing things. What colors am I missing? I think I have things from the buttons, linear. These dark ones are the cursor, which I don't have defined or haven't defined yet. I think we could use the borders for that, but it's not really good to use border for cursor, so I might have to define that. And then we have that. So the fill here is gonna be my background disabled. Good. My border disabled. And I think now we're kind of good. So if I use border focus for that, and if I use border error for these, we get everything. That's a lot of variables for no reason. At least. Cool. So now that this is done and that we have something that makes kind of sense, I will just put that to the side, make it a tad bit smaller, and create a frame around it that will be not a frame, a section around both of these. Both of these nuts. My bad. Around both of these things, and one of them will be in light mode, and the other one will be in dark mode, which is the official thing, but whatever. And the field will be the elevation 0, so that we have the things we need. So for light mode, I think we are kind of good. The main issue that I have is the helper icon that is kind of too visible. So let's make sure that I find a way to make it like less visible but still understandable. So helper icon in light mode, I think if we go with 7? No, 8. 8 would be fine. I'm okay with that. And in dark mode, it could go darker, like 8. No, like 9. I think that makes more sense. And so my icon could go to 10. Nah. Meh. Whatever. The text on hover, though, on dark mode is not bright enough, so we're using 8 for dark, so I will go use 10 to brighten up a tad. I still think that it could be much brighter in default, because it needs to have like contrast ratio and accessibility thing that you can see what the placeholder is, which is not the case here as well. Like the that light is way too light. I think we need to do the same thing, like 9 here, and probably 11 for the hover state. And fill is 12, which makes sense. We could use pure white for the dark mode to make sure that it's like bright and visible. And then the disabled is fine. I think I want to use opacities for these, but for now, let's keep that like so. Is or are my outer lines visible enough? I think yes. I think it's a subtle highlight around it, and then when it has something important, it's visible, but that could be brighter. No. Yeah. Cool. That seems okay. I don't have a disable button, so I'm kind of lost on this one. I will revert to my technique of putting things at 24%. That seems to always work, so let's do that for now. The icons on disabled are a bit bright in dark mode, so let's disable them further. And the leading text, I'm guessing, kind of need a disabled version. So let's add that here. I think it will go the same as the icon. So icon was 6. I think I can go 6 as well. So it matches with everything. And and I did 8 on the normal light mode. I think the light mode is good, specifically with that button. And my helper icon could go to 6 as well. And it matches with everything. Yeah, I think I'm biased here. I have good eyes, so I think that is not visible enough. We might need to bump everything that I just did to 7 just a tad more contrast. And I said 7, but I did 8. That's too dark on dark mode, that's the thing. On light mode, sorry. I think we're good. I think we're good. Most of it is fine. One of the other things that I want to do is add some effects to my inputs themselves. But I doubt it will work. The reason why I'm doubting is because the padding inside of my input is 4 pixels, so 0.25 rems, and to have an effect that is visible and understandable in 4.4 pixels space is kind of hard, specifically because of the type of thing that I want to do. So I'm a try, but I think it's not gonna work. Let's try on 2 and only 2. So I think I could have an elevation of -10 on these, and it could work, but yeah, it won't work here. That's the thing. It won't work on light mode, but it will work on dark. But as you can see, the inner shadow that comes with the negative elevation that I created is not gonna work because my button, that specific button, is really bright. Technically speaking, the button that we are supposed to use is the ghost button, so I could change them right there. Which kind of works, but also it doesn't. Let me add the elevation to everything. Shit. So it kind of works, but it doesn't. The reason why it doesn't work is because my borders are solid colors instead of being non-solid. So I have a feeling that if I switch them to an alpha layer of, I don't know, 8 for example, which gives me something really similar but that highlight the bottom section and darken the top section, giving me that slight bit of detail while in an opacity. So I'm guessing here if I do the same, it's not really visible, but it's still okay. And I gave it an elevation of 20, which I think is too damn low. It's really a subtle thing on light mode that you can't really notice unless you are like zooming in like here. You can see that this is darker than the bottom there, but other than that, not really gonna work. And maybe I made a mistake. No, I'm good. Let's keep that for now. Get that. I was about to say it looks like something happened, but yeah, no. The thing that happened is the background is not yep, that kind of works. Kinda. I think this one isn't solid, it should be in opacity. Nope. I lied. It needs to be bright. I think we got most of it working. We didn't even check with that, but that's fine. And technically I don't need... I do. I was about to say technically I don't need the error state on the input field component, but I do because the underlying text needs to change color. So if I don't have that in my main component, I can't have a swap. That's good. This is kind of... This is kind of low. Might be because I haven't... Yeah, for fuck's sake. Yeah, that's better. Can I bring these two here? I mean, I can, but it breaks. Ah! You saw nothing. Always fine. Are we good in light mode? I feel like this is not bright enough. So it might need to get in solid on light mode. Yeah, it's the same. And the Albert text. I can't put it in like 12. That's not an option. That is way too dark. And I can't really use like an opacity because it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Fine. It looks like my border in regular is not enough. So I might try an elevation of 50 so that I have like a bright white border, white background. So I think that works when we're on a white background, but it doesn't work when we're on a gray background. So we could deepen it a tad by getting it like at 6 on default and 8 on hover. I'm just testing things out, to be honest, at this point. But it makes things kind of better. So I'm good with that. It seems that my disabled have a drop shadow, which is not wanted at all. Disable needs to be the flattest bitch in. That's it. Because you don't want to bring attention to it too much. Cool. Yeah, no. My brain just said something that doesn't need to happen. Let's not make that happen. So we good with the input. I have a feeling that they are I'm missing some shit, but compared to what I used to have, right? As you can see, there is way more. But that's also because I have like a lot of things that are like useless. I can see this, which is true. I don't have that. I don't think it works. Mm-mm. All right. don't know. Why is both of you in elevation 50? You know, that's better. Oh, I put them in elevation 50 because that's the same color. Yeah, that's right. It's okay. I can deal with that. Bitch. Cool. So we now have for next week badges, sliders, and miscellaneous, which comprise the badges and technically badges and tags are the same thing. So it's just a value of corner radius. They don't have the same behavior and they don't have the same features, but they are the same base component at their core. They just have like a text with an outline, similarly to buttons. So badges and tags will be implemented soon. But in order to have these, we need some icons that I think we don't have just yet. That's interesting. And then input is done. I'm happy with that. Button is done. Really happy with that. Toggle is done. I think input will need to have like variations just for the sake of variations. Select needs to be implemented. So select is the same thing as the input field, but rather than having a button that has a text and two icons in it, it's just a singular button that has a chevron or select icon in it. So when you click on it, it opens the drop down. That's kind of easy. It's the same shit. We good. It's kind of simple, and it can have like it can have the same amount of shit in it. So we good. Progress bar, I don't even know if I want to have them, mainly because they are not that useful most of the time. But I can transfer them anyways. That's a good starting point. And then for the miscellaneous, which I think is some of the things that we need to have real fast, it's the avatars and all that. That is the important thing, which I think we just need two. So as you can see on the one that I used to have, we had like plenty for no reason. I think we need two with props, which is kind of annoying and non-complementary, but we need two. We need one with nothing, with a props that activate or deactivate the icon in the bottom right for the current status, but also for other things. And then a second one with initials with the same props. So that's the thing, but we could, I hate doing that, but we could combine both of these into one singular component with all the sizes, with the text being still there and the profile picture being an opposite, like a toggle, like is on, is off, like when one is on, the other one is off automatically. But that's a pain, so I might not do that just for the sake of me you know. I might not. I might not. Just because it's easier to not do it. But I think we need like these to go into the inputs at some point, specifically in the drop down and select that I've done. All of that, like these ones, needs to exist. So yeah. So basically, in order to have my select, I need to have my tags, my badges, and my avatars. So that's what we will do next week, for sure. Because it's Friday, we don't really have icons to do, but do you have requests for icons for this weekend for me, and request for next week? Are there things that needs to happen? I doubt it, but we never know. I think I'm going to tap into what other groups are calling the interface essentials, which combine a lot of icons that we already have, but I think in the essential you have the arrows pointing in all direction, the cross to close, the upload and download icons, which we currently have set into different categories, but I feel like if they are into the interface section, that kind of makes sense, but I don't know. Like I'm missing some icons, like the like these ones. Let me start that because we can. Like this is the clear icon, so when you want to clear form or clear whatever, you need one of these. Could make it bigger for once. And so there is this one, there is the reverse version of this one, which I don't want to do because we don't have solid icons, but still. We also have this one, which currently doesn't exist. Which is just the X to close, which I will keep at 12. It's still already real big. And yeah, these two, I know I need them, so we'll do that. No request, none, not a single request. Holy shit. I think I have a plus minus somewhere. I forgot where, but I think I do have them. I mean, I think we have like a. I'm so dumb. They are right there. Plus and minus, but we don't have the plus and minus without the outline, so I can do that. A me icon. Like you want my skull? That what you're saying? You know, I know. what you mean by a me icon, but plus minus. Can I do a me icon in five and something clicks? Fuck. It's lacking teeth, but I can't read your teeth here for obvious reason. It's a bit noisy. See, that makes no sense. That one is fine and the other one isn't. One day Figma will fix their shit. I don't know. Dr. Free, hi. Welcome on in. Ugh. I have a feeling that my score is like just bigger eyes, but also they are lower. So maybe we can do that. Nah. I mean, my initial icon is already 24 by 24, so we can 100% implement our emotes. Now that's the thing that I was thinking about at some point, but I also think that like using my face emotes for section 4 emotes feels out of place because, well, they are colored. Yeah, if I simplify it, maybe. But oh, they are 28 by 28, not 24 by 24. Eesh. Would not work. I like this one though. She cute. It's a nice head. It's not as cute as the sub badge that we did. Like these ones. These ones are so cute. But these ones are tiny. Like very tiny. I could use that. Or that. I love these. They look like mushrooms and skull at the same time. That's why I did it. But yeah. When you think about that, if you've been here long enough, these were the prepared icons for the tiers, like for the 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but and then tier 1, tier 2. But I'm happy we got rid of that. I like these ones as well. Really well working in dark mode rather than in light mode, but still. Pixelated is interesting. A lot of things that you have never seen before, probably. And that's some atom shit right there. We find things everywhere. I can bring that one in. Let's see how it looks inside of her. You know what? It works. It's an 18 by 20, but it kind of works. So if I get rid of the of everything, and I get rid of the stroke being different. Ooh. Yeah. That's an option. Lol. Interesting. I kind of achieved the same thing, but this one is cuter than this one, so, you know. Fair point. Is that enough of a me thing, Stoney? Or do you want something specific? We have something also that I do from time to time, currently is that to represent me, but that's my hair. That's it. I'm doing this. That's how it look. See, with this, that is always here. That's the ID. Then you can do that with somehow that. That's kind of high. Have a good job meeting. Thanks a lot for lurking. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Enjoy your meeting. Yeah, it was better in the first place. I feel like this is good. Or better, at least. Have a good interview with HR then. Hope it goes well. Could make it like that. And yes, we're doing way too much right now, but that's fun. Tony, does that make sense? I think the glasses is not as good as I think it could have been, and also it's kind of hard to not like center all that in the frame. What do you mean, not at all? All right. I know. That's why the chat is dead. Nah. It is 100%. This is shit. Anyways, yeah. I guess that's it. I guess that's it for this Friday. Also, we are in the middle of an ad break. What's happening? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. It's been a while. I know. But I have things to do. Alright. I'm sending you to Khalil. It's been a while. It has been a while. I have my walk to go on, and I just met with the neighbors. So I may have things to do. Anywho, join me for the raid. That would be highly appreciated, as always. Kai is a co-working streamer, also working in Figma. So, right, that is a continuous transition. And yeah, I'll be back officially on Monday if everything goes well, and if my internet is still broken, I don't know. But yeah, that's the time zone. If you want to watch the VOD again and you're not subbed, that happens over on YouTube. If you want to join the Discord to know when I'm live and where I'm live, you also have some discount codes and shit in there, so please check that out. If you want to check the UI kit that we are working on and invest in it before it reach $100, do that now. And yeah, join the socials. That's a thing for some reason. And on that note, take care of yourself, have fun with Kamel, enjoy the music there, and I'll see you all on Monday. That's it. Bye. I can't turn off the light.